Hello, everybody, and welcome to our exciting launch for tonight. I'm super geeked because tonight we have with us the incomparable Dr. Heather Lyon. Welcome, Heather. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. Today's a good day to be me.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And we are so excited for you. This is not only the anniversary of your very first book. This is the launch of your second book, the continuation, the big book of engagement strategy. So we are super, super geeked and excited to have you here with us today. Just we were talking before we went live, and I'll say it again. It's such an honor to have you as part of our EduMatch family. We're you are a phenomenal human being and a phenomenal educator. So we're so happy to have you here with us.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be a member of the EduMatch family. For those of you who don't know, Sarah is the matriarch of the EduMatch family. If not for Sarah, EduMatch would not exist. And so I am truly honored that Sarah is hosting tonight. So everybody gets to see her. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Happy to be here with you tonight. Yeah. So are you ready to dig in and get the party started?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. So our very first question for you, could you please tell us, how did this book come about?
So, like you shared, this is the anniversary of my first book coming out. Engagement is not a unicorn, it's a narwhal. And while I was writing that book and getting towards the end, I realized that book was mammoth. And so I didn't think that people could slog through the entirety of that book. And so I reached out to you and I was like, Sarah, I think I actually have two books here. I have some strategies that I don't think can make it into the first book. It would be too long, but I think I could write an entire book of strategies. And you were kind enough to give me the green light to do that. And so in the meantime, though, I had the pleasure of just listening to other people and things that they were doing. And so this book came about because it started out as kind of leftovers has such a negative term, but it was the things that couldn't make it into the first book. But I also got to reach out to other people and which leads to a different question. So I'll save that.
Nice. Oh my goodness. Yes. And this book, I mean, as you said, it's a continuation of the first book, but also standalone. It's like an amazing resource for folks. And just going through the book, I got so many different strategies and ideas. So I'm super excited for other people to be able to read it as well. So we do have some guests with us tonight. So we're going to bring them on kind of one by one at different points of our launch tonight. So the very first guest that we're going to bring up, and excuse me, viewers, because you probably see me doing a lot of this tonight because I'm going off two different computers. But the very first guest that we have is Diana. Hello, Diana.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. How are you doing tonight?
I'm great, thanks. I'm so excited for Heather. I'm excited for EduMatch. This is a great book, and I know it'll be a great success and a great resource for teachers.
Fantastic. So you contributed to the book.
No, Diana was a reviewer of both.
Reviewer of the book. I'm so sorry. Yes. My apologies.
No.
But, yeah, if you could tell us like one of your takeaways, something that resonated with you.
Sure. I had the privilege of reviewing Engagement is Not a Unicorn, and it really transformed how I thought about engagement. A lot of times teachers confuse compliance with engagement. And so, when thinking about what engagement looks like as a teacher, I found that really helpful to finally have a clear picture of what that was. And so I want to tell this little story really quickly. And Heather, I don't know whether or not I even have shared this with you, but when I was in grad school, I went for differentiated instruction. And one of our assignments was to create this strategies notebook with all sorts of strategies that we had learned about and think about how to differentiate them for all types of students. And I've been out of grad school for almost 10 years, and it's something that I had saved all this time because I didn't know where to turn to for a complete, bunch of strategies, and I had used them throughout the first several years of my teaching experience. So to have this continuation, this Engagement is Not a Unicorn, or, the strategies book is so important and helpful. And I finally got rid of that assignment. So I could finally part ways with it, knowing I had something to take its place.
Oh, wow. That is powerful. That is really, really powerful. And we appreciate you sharing that story with us. So do you have any words for Heather on her big launch day?
Heather, I'm so proud of you. I think the world of you. And, we've worked together professionally, and I've had the privilege of learning from Heather as a teacher, employed in the district where she was a leader. So, anybody who reads this book, it's like sitting in a room with Heather and learning from her. So congratulations. And I'm super excited that this has come to be.
Thank you so much. Isn't she the nicest?
Yeah. She really is.
But what everybody should know about Diana is that her skill as a teacher exceeds even how nice she is, which is saying a lot, because she's so nice. And she is masterful. I would go into her classroom I would put myself out there, as a sign up, like, I'll come to your class. I'll do whatever you want me to do. Just want to be with you and with kids. And she would take me up on that offer. So I really got to see her teach, and it was just lovely and masterful. So she could write a book.
Maybe someday, Heather, you and I can put our brains together.
All right.
Oh, that would be so awesome. I'd love to see that tag team collaboration. That would be great. That would be great. Well, we definitely appreciate you joining us tonight, Diana. Thank you so much for taking the time out, and thank you for being here for Heather's launch. So we're going.
Thank you again. It was a pleasure. It's truly an honor, and I wish you great success, Heather.
Oh, thank you so much, Diana.
All right, thank you, Diana. All right, so excellent. It was great to hear from Diana. And we also have two other special guests that are currently in the waiting room, but we are going to pull them up as the show progresses. So before we do that, let's get to another question or two. So here's one, and I know that this one might be super hard. Like when you ask for your favorite, it's almost like picking a favorite child sometimes.
Yes.
But what would be one of your favorite strategies from the books?
So it is really difficult to pick a favorite strategy. What I can say is the ones that rank the highest for me are probably not the ones that I personally wrote, but the ones that other people contributed. One that stands out to me is actually the very last strategy in the book. And so the book is organized in strategies that are clustered from how do you help students or anybody really go from non-compliance to compliance, from compliance to interested, and then interested to absorbed. So this is in the absorbed section of the book. And I think what really strikes me about this strategy is that I am an English teacher, though I don't teach English anymore. And so the strategy is called Room to Breathe. And so these two teachers from Canada created this strategy, and it's talking about giving students way to, they say, inhale and exhale. So inhale means to like read and listen, and then exhale means to produce, the production of your thinking. And it's just like I would have loved to be a student in their classroom. And I think it's a really innovative approach to tackling the standards, because it is standards based, even though students have this great opportunity to inhale and exhale ideas of their own creation. So.
Absolutely. I remember reading that one. I was just like, this is great. This is awesome. So yeah, fantastic choice. And I see that that you have a few folks tuning in that are congratulating you as well. So Melody, our very own Melody McAllister, is saying congratulations. And we also have Drew saying congratulations. It was an honor to play a small role in your book and Newport's story. So Awesome. Thank y'all so much for
I love that
joining.
he said story. He has a strategy in there that is all about creating stories, and Drew is amazing. Melody is awesome. Drew and Melody, thanks so much for being here.
Yay, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, this is just amazing, just talking to you and hearing about your book, and just so many contributors, and just people we just want to give a shout out to. So absolutely. So next question for you. Could you talk to us about the process of collaborating with others in this book? So that's like a perfect segue, right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So there are over 50 strategies in the book. And it's kind of just like Engagement is Not a Unicorn is kind of larger than life in its actual size. It's a big book. So is the big book of engagement strategies. But there were over 15 educators who shared 20 different strategies out of the 50 plus. And so it was what I have learned in the process of writing this book is that everybody has a great strategy. And I don't mean that in a flippant way, like, oh, everybody. No, I mean, like, for real, everybody is doing something in their class that they have created or refined. And so the nice part about that is if we're ever stuck, like, you don't even need, I want you to buy the book, but you don't need to buy the book. You can turn to your neighbors and, ask them, what are you doing? I heard recently something that, schools they started out as one-room schoolhouses, and that what we have done is instead of expanding, we have just created individual one-room schoolhouses in these buildings, and that's what school is. And certainly it can be that, right? It can feel very isolating. But when done right, like, you get to learn with and from others. And so the contributors to this book, I couldn't have done it without them. It really made, it helped me learn and become a better educator because of them. So, and I see that my sister, Emily Schulteis, is giving me some love. So love you too, Emmy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that how you're modeling learning and growing with your PLN. So that is
right.
Yeah, that is awesome. Melody says, buy the book. And Matthew says, gotta love a book launch where the author says you don't gotta buy the book. Makes me want to buy the book. Brilliant. I love that. Oh man. And Melody is saying that this is a great book for pre-service teachers. So absolutely. And Melissa says that you're a rock star, and I totally agree with that. I co-sign that. 100%. 100%. All right.
I'm feeling the love.
Oh yeah, so much love.
Right,
because you're doing big things. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. So now it's about time for us to bring on another guest. Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. We are going to next bring on Lori. Hello. How you doing, Lori?
Doing great. So happy to be here.
We are happy to have you here. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm recently retired. I was a superintendent of schools for 15 years, but had a lot of curriculum and instruction in my background and 18 years classroom experience. So I'm right now working as a restorative justice consultant.
She is so smart and so humble, Lori DiCarlo, and just magnetic. Like, so Lori's path and my path crossed because, honestly, because my superintendent had heard Lori at a conference, and we were going down a path of trying to learn more about restorative practices. And he said, reach out to Lori. And so I feel like talking to Lori is like finding a long lost friend. And she's so smart. And so I was like, Lori, I need your help. I need you to help other people understand restorative practices. And so there are probably 4, maybe 5 strategies in the book that Lori contributed.
Well, it was a really great opportunity to co-write. I mean, I've never done anything like that before, but the topic of engagement, I was definitely interested in it right away as soon as Heather shared about her first book, because as a superintendent, we had a menu of job interview questions, and we always asked, what is engagement and what is student engagement, and how do you know when you see it? And there was never a consistent answer to this. So I agree with the comment that was posted about this being an ideal text for pre-service teachers. I really think, I've just noticed there's no consistent definition, but what Heather did in her first book was create an operational definition through the continuum and the matrix. And when I saw on the left-hand side of the matrix that relationship could drive engagement, that was what really hooked me, because all the work around restorative practices is relational. And, I started to reflect more on how that, impacts increasing student engagement in the school. And my mind did pop with lots of ideas from, the school I worked in was a school for kids with emotional and behavioral disabilities. So we saw a lot of non-compliance over the years. But we also saw lots of engagement. And one of the things I shared was just the most basic routine of hosting community building circles in your classroom. And that is meant to build relationships. And with, in the scheme of Heather's matrix, it drives up engagement because it builds relationships between kids and between the staff in the room, the teacher and the students.
Yeah. What I love about Lori's contributions is that though she talks a lot about relationships, and so most of her strategies are in the first part of the book of how to go from non-compliance to compliance. She also, one of her strategies, service learning projects, made it into the very end of the book in absorption, because really that strategy that she was sharing is really about not just building relationships, although that's important, but building purpose. And so getting students connected to tasks that have meaning to them. And so I love it.
Yeah, it was wonderful to see kids become completely absorbed in projects and in the community. And it was somewhat had a miraculous quality to it. I wrote about manicures at the Manor, where the cosmetology students went to get manicures at the nursing home in the community. And some beautiful relationships were born out of that service learning project. But certainly there's so many opportunities. We have many examples of science projects. One that I recall and that I shared about was students went to collect data from the Buffalo River with samples that were sent to a science lab. And, when they came to share their project with the Board of Ed, I was really wowed at the depth of their knowledge of the science behind it all. And their sense of awareness about the community in general was so elevated. But the amount of pride and self-esteem that was, purported when they gave their report to the Board of Ed. And that's really an important part of a service learning, is to create an opportunity for the whole project to be shared within the school community.
Right. Totally. Wow. Yeah, that sounds like a very powerful project. And these strategies are just amazing in terms of engaging our students. So, Lori, do you have any words for Heather tonight on her big launch night?
I'm just so proud of you, Heather. You are a role model to all of us. I have really learned from watching you work with a lot of self-discipline toward a goal. You just are very consistent and persevering, and that's inspiration to me personally. So good luck with this book. I do think that it has so much promise for especially teacher prep, and I hope that they pay attention to it and start to utilize it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And I love what you said about how, you ask like several people what engagement is and you'll get several answers. But this book and its predecessor kind of standardized that definition. That matrix is just phenomenal. Like the first time I saw it, it was like, whew. So absolutely. So I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Lori, for joining us tonight. It was great to chat with you. And we hope you have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks, Lori.
All right, fantastic. And we had a few other comments that came in as well. There was one question. Kelly was asking, what do you wish every teacher knew about engagement? And congratulations. So
let me just say, Kelly, thank you for your support. Kelly was a reviewer as well. So, and Matt Mariglia was a reviewer, and Melissa Lawn is a contributor and a reviewer. So,
nice.
And a partner in crime.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
So, I wish every teacher knew that they have influence over engagement, and that compliance is not engagement. So I think both of those things, especially that, I guess maybe a third thing. So the last thing is that be on the lookout for students who are behaviorally compliant, but disengaged with learning. So if I sit here and I am quiet, I can opt out of the learning because the teacher will leave me alone as long as I'm quiet.
Right. That is a great point. And that's going to, in a further comment I'm going to share with you, then someone also mentioned that, but shout out to Jerry, one of our EduMatch authors as well. He says, congratulations. Sounds like an amazing book, but what you were talking about, the compliance versus the non-compliance, Melody talked about it, in her comment there too. So absolutely. And, Matthew is saying that he agrees. As long as the students do what you want, you'll be fine, is what he heard early in his career, which goes to exactly what you talked about.
Yes. And I don't know if I said it already, but Melody is awesome. Yes. She is like, isn't she the nicest person? And she's the only person I know in Alaska. So I feel like if anybody's going to see some narwhals, it might be her.
Hey. Maybe she could take a picture for us. That would be awesome. Right. Absolutely. And Kelly was saying that she learned so much. And Melissa's saying, Melody's point makes me sad because learning is the goal, not compliance. That is so true. Matthew, I think I might have skipped over his comment, but he says you have influence over engagement and compliance is not engagement. Powerful quote. And I think Melody was laughing about the narwhal.
Yes, yeah, I think so.
Excellent. Okay, so we have a couple more questions that we're going to get to. But before we do that, then you have a section of your book that you're going to read for us, please.
Yes. Okay, so this section, I'm reading from page 200 and 201. That gives you a sense about the book. This is in the beginning of the section on absorption strategies. It's hard to read a strategy itself to everybody, so I'm going to read you one of the things that I feel like makes my book a little bit different is it's not just just a book where it says this is the strategy, this is what you do, and a checklist type of thing. It gives you some background and information about about what engagement is and why this strategy is in this place. That said, this is a book of nonfiction, so people can read it in any order that they want. And so if you're looking for just strategies on how to build compliance, you don't need to read the rest of it yet.
Right.
So, all right. So this is under the subheading of tried and failed, and I'm talking about engagement. At this level, I'm talking about absorption. At this level of engagement, there will be failure by those doing the task absorbing tasks are challenging. The goal when doing absorbing tasks is not to produce a product that is perfect, and if perfection is achieved at the first try, the task was not at the correct level of difficulty to sustain the highest levels of engagement for long. The goal when doing absorbing tasks is to learn through the process of doing, and doing includes failure. In the quote unquote real world, that's how learning happens. Scientists repeatedly have ideas and test them only to discover their original ideas were not quite right. Athletes attend hours and hours of practices and drills and games, and yet batting average of 300 is good for a professional baseball player. Unfortunately, not every patient will be cured by every doctor. Failure needs to be seen as one of the best methods to learn, not a flaw, and certainly not something to be avoided. We have created a culture of engaging failure with video games. No one wants to play a video game that is too easy. This is why video games are designed to operate within the player's zone of proximal development, or ZPD. The game's first level is often the exemplar of how the game works. It's extremely easy and designed to get you feeling interested and make you believe you can be successful. The next level is much more difficult because it is the first quote unquote real level. You do not expect to beat this level the first time. As you play, you acquire skills that are sufficient to progress into, but not enough to master the next level the first time you try. In other words, people play video games with the knowledge that they must fail because it is so important. Let me repeat that. People play video games with the knowledge that they must fail. So if people know in video games they must fail in order to ultimately succeed, what do people know about school? In school, people know they must not fail in order to succeed. The fact that we have debates in schools about whether or not a student should be able to retake a test or redo their homework is astounding. The culture in most schools is clear. Do it right the first time because that's the only chance you've got. Then we wonder why students give up or drift towards compliance. Human beings are wired to seek mastery and driven towards success. Don't believe me? Go to a hospital nursery and watch babies. They do not start their lives crawling, let alone running. They do not know how to talk or feed themselves. They're helpless. Now go to a nursery school and watch the infants who are repeatedly failing to learn to walk, talk, and feed themselves. Do we grade them? Nope. Do we lament that they didn't, quote, get it the first time? Certainly not. Do we tell their parents that infants are not trying hard enough? Please. So what do? We cheer them on. We celebrate the approximation. We give them time and space and do not panic if they need more time. This is a culture of risk-taking that celebrates failures because failure is the first step to success. This belief is what we need in every classroom, in every school, every day.
Yes. I couldn't contain that. I just had to clap for it. That is amazing. That is amazing. I love what you were saying about the culture of risk taking and how, failure sometimes is part of the process. And I know that you have Becky Gibbony who contributed about gamification. So kind of reminds me of that whole concept. And
yes.
Yeah. So I see a few comments that came through that we'll go through, and then after that we have I'm gonna have a question for you, and then we'll bring on your final guest. But
okay,
just wanted to shout out Karen's comment. This is your mom.
It's my mom.
Oh, hi. So she's in the comments showing you love. Absolutely. Andy says that you're a woman who loves a matrix.
That's true.
Yep, I get it. Mel loves the paradigm. Okay, Diana's saying, yes, we need to create learning environments where students and teachers alike are comfortable making mistakes and view them for opportunities for learning. Absolutely. All right. And then Andy says that Andy is very proud of all you've accomplished and looks forward to book 3.
No pressure.
Yes. Right.
That's right.
Melody's loving your illustrations. Absolutely. Melissa was also giving you the hand clap. And Matthew was saying failure makes us all what we are, and our schools need to use it as a tool to help students to turn into what they're meant to be. Absolutely love that. Just
right. They're all so smart.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Like just surrounded by all this greatness. Like you, the people in the comments, your guests, everybody is just on fire tonight. So absolutely love this. So, question for you. We talked a little bit about pre-service teachers, but who would you say would be the recommended audience for the book?
So I think that it would be great for certainly pre-service. It would be a great, like, this is your first job, in teaching kind of book, especially because some of the strategies about building relationships and things like that are ones that we want teachers coming in and knowing. But if they don't, we want to be able to help them get there. But helping them get there is means that coaches would be a great audience for this book. It would be great for administrators as well, especially for teachers and more experienced teachers than administrators. Some of these strategies in developing interest and developing absorption, again, that's not first year stuff necessarily. So I'd say anybody.
I agree.
Yeah. So for this book, I would say educators are the best audience. I don't care what you're doing in education. But I will put in a plug, though, for Engagement is Not a Unicorn, it's a Narwhal. I would say I definitely wrote that with educators in mind, but this matrix on engagement, that doesn't matter if we're talking about students or teachers or whatever your job is. Human beings operate within that matrix.
Yes, that matrix is everything. If y'all have not seen it, y'all need to see this matrix. Like, seriously.
Go to my website. It's on the website. It's there under resources. And so it's free. You can find it.
Fantastic. Okay, awesome. So we're going to bring on your third guest. So we're going to bring on Molly right now. Hello.
Yay.
Molly.
Hi, Molly.
How are you?
Oh, you're muted. Are you muted, Molly?
Sorry, congratulations.
There we go. Yeah. Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing great.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
Molly is another high contributor in this book because though Molly is a teacher, she is also a coach. And so she has, had to help other teachers create engagement in their classrooms for kids. And she is just brimming with ideas. Every time I'm around Molly, I'm like, I just want to be around you because you make math fun. And I told you I'm an English teacher, so math wasn't always the most fun for me.
And what's nice about Heather is that she's always engaged. So as being an administrator, she's always there with her teachers, always engaged in the work and working right beside her teachers. And that makes a really great leader.
That's fantastic. Oh my goodness. Yes, indeed. I really appreciated your contributions as I was reading through the book as well. So tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about what you talked about.
Sure. So I'm a math coach at the elementary level. I'm also a consultant. So I've been in Heather's district a few times. My contribution was really around accountable talk around math and number talks and just some strategies to engage students. So a few of the comments were all about bringing kids into that engagement and making kids talk, because we used to be evaluated on how quiet your classrooms were and how compliant everyone was. So now what we're really trying to do is make sure that students are talking about their strategies, talking about their ideas, and that the mistakes are taken as a learning experience. And so I think that's a huge shift in the paradigm of education right now. And there's so many different strategies from, especially in math, all the different games we can play, all the different models we can make. So that's what I contribute to the book. And that's what I try to do every day with our students and our teachers. I also think this book is great I have so many new teachers this year. So you were saying for pre-service teachers, this is a book I'm going to use as a book talk with my whole faculty. This will be great to kind of bring everyone together, all the new teachers, the older teachers, and bring everyone together around just a new talk about engagement.
Thank you, Molly. And again, it's just a springboard also for helping people surface what they know. And so, because they're going to read this and they're going to be like, oh, why didn't I think of that? Or, oh, I have used that before, but not exactly like that, like this. And so it's a great conversation starter.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah, totally.
we really
I can
want,
see a lot
especially
of
we want
discussion.
to start that love of math right in the beginning, in the the elementary years. So we don't want kids going on to middle school and high school with that fear of math. So the earlier we can get them to really catch on and love it and be engaged in math, the earlier the better.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So do you have any words for Heather tonight?
Oh, well, just a big congratulations. I'm so excited. Like I said, I'm going to use this book for a book talk with my teachers. So I'm excited that I love the first book, but now we've got these strategies to talk about and these ideas to talk about with everybody. I'm just really excited, and congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much, Molly.
Yeah, thank you so much, Molly, for being
for
here.
having
It's
me.
great
Yeah,
to chat
thanks.
with you. And and your contributions were excellent. So thank you again for that.
Thank you. I was excited to do it.
Thanks. All right. Well, so it's getting close to that time. So we're about to get ready to wrap. But before we do so, we have a few more shout outs that we just wanted to acknowledge in a final question. Diana is saying save the date, same time, 1 year from now. And Melissa's saying that you found your next book, Failure is Not an Insert Animal. Love it. Okay. And Melissa also says that referring to the book to share with teachers or related service providers who are seeking advice. And Lori's saying a great resource for mentoring new teachers. Fantastic. So great comments coming through. So we're going to end with a question for you so that we can get to pick your brain a little bit and see what makes you tick. So what do you personally find engaging, Dr. Lyon?
What I love about this question is that it allows me to, again, emphasize that engagement is at the interest level and at the absorption level. So at the interest level, what do I like getting paid to do? That's the interest level. And I really love my job. I just love working with adults who work with kids in the field of education. I know that I enjoyed working with students, but the idea of working with adults is really what gets me out of bed in the morning. And I know that makes me weird. In this field, that makes me weird. But so that's interested. What do I like enough that I want to get paid to do it? Now, absorbed is what do I like enough that I'm willing to pay to do it? And so I really find baking and cooking to be very cathartic. And I like making pottery, although I haven't done it in over a year. I just love it. I'm awful at it, but it doesn't matter. I just love it. And I made 3 quilts during COVID. So I called them my COVID quilts. Yeah. In addition to writing books. So,
oh my goodness.
So that's what I find engaging. What do you find engaging, Sarah?
Oh, well, there's not enough hours in the day. But
yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, music for sure. Like music would be like what I get absorbed into. Music, creating, just anything like that. And in terms of interest, then love everything I'm doing. Really.
Right, you're a hard worker. You have I don't even know how long your list of jobs is.
Oh my goodness. I think there's a sketch on A Living Color like that with people, working many jobs. But no, it's and I have to say, like, I just love everything about this book and its predecessor. I feel like it's just opening the door to so many conversations. And now with this second follow-up, with the big book of strategies, then I love the fact that it's so concrete and people can just like take it and implement it like right away. So, and there's like 30 or some strategies in there?
Over 50, I think, like 52.
Over 50.
Yeah.
My goodness. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So there's so much in there. And I mean, just, being able to use it for like book studies, using it, as you said, with pre-service teachers, in-service teachers.
It's really written in a manner that makes a book study really easy because and both books are, because they have pre-chapter, like before you read questions and then after you read questions. So if you're ever looking for a book study, it's a one-stop shop.
Absolutely. That is so true. And speaking of that, if you see scrolling on the bottom of the screen, getting bulk discounts. So if you are doing a book study, just email me. I don't know why I had these around my neck the whole time. But if you are looking for a book study, just email me, edumatchbooks@edumatchers.org. We do discounts, 20% off 10 or more copies. So you can find this book on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can find it also on our website, EduMatch, EduMatchPublishing.com, and just click on the shop and it'll take you there. It's right there in our new releases. So we're about to get to one of the really fun part. Oh, wait, Matthew had a great comment. Shout out to Living Color. Yes. Love that show. Absolutely. Oh, and Melissa, I like you too. Absolutely. Oh man. Well, one of the really fun portions is the giveaway. So what we're going to do, I am going to scroll on my side so you can't see what I'm doing, but when I start scrolling, then you can just yell out stop, and whatever comment it lands on, then we will give that person a book, and we'll do that twice. So
okay.
All right, so I'm gonna start scrolling now.
No whammies, big money, stop.
Okay. We have Emily, does she already have a book?
She doesn't yet have a book.
Okay, so Emily is our first winner. Okay, the second one, I'm gonna keep scrolling.
Okay. And stop.
All right, we have, I'll get you a copy. But Melissa, does Melissa have a copy?
She does not have a copy.
Okay, so Melissa and Emily, then you all know how to get in touch with Heather, and she will get you to hook up on the books. So let me see. I think that was the last thing, the giveaway. But before we leave, is there anything that you would like to that you would like to? Oh, wait. Emily says I'll take another to share. So so Emily just bought a book, and we'll take another one to share. So that is awesome. And Melissa will give her copy to a new teacher. Fantastic. All right, cool. So we will send it over to you for any parting words.
I just want to say that if there are lots of free resources on my website. So my website is lionsletters.com, LYONSLETTERS.com. So every image in the book is available as a downloadable PDF on my website. So that's true for both books. And this is a shout out to my mom. She helped me. Because in the first book, I gave lots of additional resources like, hey, read this book or click on this link if you want more. But there were over 50 pages of that for this book. So I didn't include that in the book. I included it on the website for free. So, lots of free stuff on the website. Buy the book, but lots of free stuff on the website.
Yes, indeed.
And I do also want to say once again, Sarah, you are the best. EduMatch is the best. You took a chance on me, and it means so much to me. Yes, EduMatch.
Hold on, there we go. I have to point opposite. No, you are the best.
No. And the EduMatch family, everybody there is just amazing. Every author should have the experience that I have had with you all. And so you really have made my dreams come true. Because I was just this little girl who wanted to write a book way back when, like 20 plus years ago. So I'm not an overnight success, but I'm glad to be a part of this family. And everybody say happy birthday to Sarah. It's a big one.
Oh my goodness.
It's not just the birthday of my book. It's your birthday too. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Oh man, I can't say how much we appreciate you at EduMatch, and also how much I personally appreciate you. You're an amazing person, an amazing educator, and just being able to collaborate with you is just such a great experience. So thank you for everything. I've learned so much from you, and I'm just constantly inspired by you. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Look at all the love you're getting.
Oh, that's so sweet. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much in the comments, everybody. All right, so we are about to sign off, but again, wanted to say thank you and congratulations to Heather for just her amazing work, and for all that she does for education. And thank you to all of you for tuning in tonight. And you know, we absolutely hope to see you back again for our next EduMatch launch, which will be on which will be later this month. It'll be Joshua Stamper. So just, you know, same bat channel, not the same bat time, but the same bat channel. So just keep it locked. It's going to be the third week. So all right. So thanks everybody and have a great night. Bye.
Bye.
Everyone.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.